Microphone. So, dagdagan ko lang introduction ni Brother June. Kilala ko lang po yung aking favorite wife. Isang asawa ko po, si Maita. Yung dalawang anak po namin, andito rin, pero nasa baba ko ngayon. They were invited to join the Papi Chill. Okay, so, yung topic kong nabigay ho sa amin is actually part of Amoris, Laetitia, which is related to the joy of love. Apostolic exhortation. May number ho, kung nagbabasa ho kayo ng Amoris Laetitia, may number po yan. Mula sa 1 hanggang ngayon, we're talking about 200 plus, diba? We're talk about the family ngayong hapon na to. Let's do a step back muna. Bago ho mabuo isang pamilya, nag-uumpisa po yan sa dalawang individual ng kita. This individual would be the man, would this be the woman. When you do the step back, isipin ho natin, yung pinagalingan natin ho, ay ang ating background magkaiba. Yung lalaki, pwedeng iba yung background, yung babae, pwedeng ibang background. Kami po mag-asawa, medyo malayo ho ang background namin. Ako po, probinsyano. Ako po taga Negros, Bacolod. Ang asawa ko naman po, dito ako naging sa Manila. Taga San Juan naman siya. Yung family namin medyo diverse. Ako po lumaki na very kasama ko 4 kaming lalaki. Alam niyo naman, kung magkakapatid mga lalaki, iba ho yung samahan. Medyo bugbugan minsan kung nag-aaway. Tapos sila naman co-ed kasi may babae, may lalaki. But one thing that got us together was actually something that's common to us. We were both raised in a very strict Catholic setup. And kasama ko sa diverse setup natin as a family. Wala naman ho tayo, running a family, wala naman ho tayong manual. Nabigyan ba tayo ng parents manual nung tayo nag-asawa? Wala naman po, di ba? Lahat naman tayo ay nag-rely po tayo sa natutunan natin sa ating pamilya, sa ating mga magulang, anong tinuturo ng simbahan, anong tinuturo ng Biblia. Yan po yung ating pinanggalingan. But minsan ho, the way we conduct ourselves leads to certain conflicts. So ngayong hapon ang pag-uusapan ho natin would be how do we deal with the family. Okay. So, ang kodigo ko po, I'd like to honor my wife po. Kung na-notice yung ganda ng presentation, siya ang gumawa lahat ng presentation. Nagabasa lang ho ako.
Ang father niya?
Ang asawa po, Maita po. Maita. Okay, so, parents rely primarily on schools nowadays. Marami ho tayong pinapadala natin mga anak natin sa eskwelahan. And most of the time, there's this conception na yung school mag-ahalaga sa ating mga anak. Diba? Iniiwan natin yung mga bata natin under the care of the teachers or the school. But primarily, ang gusto lang natin pag-usapan dito is hindi po dapat school lang. Okay? Hindi natin pwedeng i-delegate yung moral formation of our kids sa eskwelahan. They are partners primarily in the formation of our kids. But the primary formators talaga ng ating mga anak ay tayo po as parents. A person's effective development is actually, alam niyo po, pag pinanganak yung anak nyo, ang una ho nilang nilalapitan, yung kanilang tiwala po ay nasa magulang. Kaya importante po na ang tiwala na yan ay hindi mawalay sa bata. Patuloy-tuloy po yun. Mula nang sanggol sila hanggang sa lumaki. Yung mga anak natin, dapat yung tiwala yun ay hindi maputol. Kahit paano. And yung pamilya ko natin ay isang lugar para maturuan natin yung ating mga anak na ultimately maging leaders. When we talk about leaders, hindi po limited yan leaders sa school, leaders sa kumpanya, but importante ho na siya yung maging magaling na leader sa kanyang pamilya balang araw. Di po ba? Cycle po yung family natin. We move forward as a family, but what we impart to our kids would actually be carried the next generation. Similarly, what we learn from our parents, dinadala ho natin pababa. So kung ano man yung natutunan natin, sometimes bad, nadadala natin. Kaya minsan kailangan natin ng guidance from the church, guidance from our elders in the religious communities to help us sometimes understand anong kailangan natin pagbukin. But more importantly is, really the responsibility falls on the parents and the pastoral care of the children. A leader also gets their training sa kanilang pamilya po, sa kanilang pamamahay, sa tahanan po natin. Dan po yung training na nakukuha natin. Pasensya na ako medyo mabilis kasi 30 minutes na binigay sa akin. So, kung medyo mabilis, sabihin niya, bro, dahan-dahan naman o. May taas ng kamay ha. Kasi medyo may... Ay, hindi marinig. Sorry, nawawala ba ang boses? Okay na po? O, sige. Lalapit ako dyan minsan. Okay. So, the home is a place to transmit wisdom and values of life. Yan po yung... Importante po yung tahanan. Tawag nila sa tahanan, safe harbor. Pag lahat na yung medyo nagka-problema, maganda po na alam ng anak natin na may tahanan silang pwedeng balikan, may magulang silang pwedeng balikan. Yung bahay natin, tahanan natin will always be the safe harbor. And this is where they get the values na kailangan sa kanilang buhay balang araw. At this point, I would like to call my wife to share a bit about on anong klaseng yung day-to-day teachings na ginagawa namin sa aming pamatahanan upang may part namin yung values sa mga anak namin. Ako pa ba? Sige, ako muna. Okay, sige, sorry. Okay. Ito na po ang aking favorite vibes.
I teach, teacher po ako. I teach in the preschool. Mostly 4-year-olds, some 3s, some 5s. And kaya medyo nakaka-relate. Actually, nawala ako. Yun. As Butch mentioned, actually is expressed in Amoris Laetitia. Diba? The formation, while I'll speak as a teacher from experience. Ang hirap na maliit, hindi ako makita I'll speak as a parent but more as a teacher ha. Kasi po, I've been teaching for 20 years already. And yun, yung 20 years na kasama mo, 3, 4s, and 5s, iba-ibang klaseng bata. I've had, classes will start this June, then this week, tomorrow. And I'm already looking forward kasi every time, first day of school, you encounter different personalities. And yung mundo nila, ibang-iba talaga. Like tomorrow, when classes start, we bring them in, yun na yung mag-iiyakan na yung mga bata, they'll start to cry, they'll start to play. Minsan, as a teacher, I've seen yung parents yung umiiyak. Okay, hindi maka-let go. Hawak ko na yung bata, akap-akap ko na, it's okay mommy, I'll see you at 10 o'clock, please come back. Tapos yung mami, sige, bye-bye baby. Tapos mami, sisilip na naman sa bintana. Mami, parang kailangan isa lang, mami, please come back at 10 o'clock, it's not helping. Kasi po, pag umiyak yung anak niya, umiiyak din lahat. Yeah. Okay, and then, so what we do is, sorry habang kukwento ko. After that, when all the children, at least most of them are settled, we let them play. So we have lots of toys, kasi preschool. Yun, ang mahirap niyan, pag naglaro na silang lahat, di syempre magka-calm down kahit pa paano. Kasi they get to choose their toys. But doon lumalabas yung personalities ng children. May batang ayaw mag-share. May batang gusto sa kanya lahat yung buong box. Tapos pag pinakiusap mo na, would you like to share with Angela? Kukuha ng isa. Yung gano'n. Tapos, and then you see how they are raised. Then you see how they are raised. You see those who know how to share. You see those who know how to say please and thank you. Tapos pag syempre hindi mo kami pwede maglaro maghapon. So after a while, then you tell them to gather their toys and then it's time to clean up, to pack away. Yun, may mga, then I see children who will willingly and with yun sa isang sabihan lang, magliligpit na. Then they start to clean up. I've seen kids who will put all the H cubes together, all the table blocks together, all the Lego bricks together, lahat ng clay. Pero meron din yung basta, tinapon ko saan, gano'n. And then, so yun, so parang on the first day of school, meron akong view of, siguro ganito to sa bahay. And, well, actually totoo siya. When you get to talk to the parents, magkukwento yan. Minsan, so when I send them off and I see you tomorrow, ganyan, there are some parents na lalapit, nagsasabi na sila, teacher yan kasi baby, nag-iisang anak yan, ganyan, siya ang king of the house, lahat na susunod. Na minsan gusto kong sagutin ang, alam ko po, obvious naman eh. Then you see those who are raised, ayun, in my 20 years, I've seen children who are, yung only children, merong bunso, merong panganay, diba? They have their own personalities. I think in the other talks, you've heard that. And, yun, then I appreciate nga those who raise their children in the Lord, those who try to implement values. Kasi, kahit na anong ituro namin as teachers, kahit na we tell them to clean up their mess, we tell them to share, we tell them to wait for their turn. Kung pagdating naman sa bahay, nasusunod lahat ng gusto nila, then nawawala. So, yun. So, yun. Kasi balik na ako dun sa kwento namin asawa. Na ibabalik ko dun sa, so, ito, diretso ka na dito. So that's why actually this is where I was going. Teaching comes in the everyday activities at home. Nag-usap kami nung anak ko. Yung eldest namin is also a preschool teacher. Sabi niya, Mommy, it's like saying please and thank you, being respectful, being trying to, face it, especially young children, the tendency is to think of themselves only. Siyempre, hindi mo naman maiiwasan, maliliit pa yan. So, sarili nila, before they consider others. Pero, reality is, there are some adults who are like children also. Siguro, because of the way we were raised, because of how it is in the family. Kaya po, yun. Gets nyo na? Okay. So, tayo na sinabi.
Kilala ko rin po yung aking dalawang magandang anak. Cassie, over there, my eldest daughter, and Gabby, my youngest daughter. So, just to continue from where Mike left off, no? Like, similarly in my case, dahil my dad was a disciplinarian when I was young, every summer, what my dad would do was, tatanggalin niyo yung mga katulong sa bahay. So for 2 months, wala kaming kasambahay. So lahat, kaya natutuho ako maglaba, natutuho ako magplancha, marunong ako magluto, hindi simple lang, prito. Pero marunong ako linis ng bahay. Primarily because part of the training of my dad was to let us know that pag wala kayong katulong, you should be able to stand on your 2 feet. That has been discipline of my dad. And sometimes, as a young person, you would resent it sometimes that, bakit mo pinapagawa sa akin to? May katulong naman na kailangan ko. But I only appreciated it later on in life when nagka-problema kami ni Mites, wherein we had to let go of certain convenience sa buhay namin. Ako po naging Iron Man sa bahay. Iron Man, taga-plancha. Ako po yung taga-laba, ako taga-luto. I was a full-time house band for a while before I went back to corporate world. So yun po, what we teach our kids, nadadala ho nila when they grow up eventually. What you train them to do. Sometimes my kids would call it, the way we raise them, we call it, si daddy tough love. It's not because I do not love them, but it's because I want to make sure when I leave this world, they'll be fine. Lahat naman po tayo gusto yun, di ba? Na pag umalis tayo sa mundong ito, mga anak natin ay they can stand on their own 2 feet and they'll be fine. Then, children need to know that in spite of their faults, they are important to you. Dapat alam ng mga anak natin na sila importante. A common phrase that I tell my daughters always that, alam nyo, I love you no matter what. Miski galit ako minsan, alam nila mahal ko sila. Masaya ako, alam nila mahal ko sila. May nagawa silang hindi ko gusto, alam nila yon, pero alam nila mahal ko sila. Just because you are angry doesn't mean na hindi niyo na mahal yung anak niyo. Minsan in the course of a discussion, lalo na if it's a heated discussion, sometimes you forget yourself as a parent and umiiral yung sarili mong emosyon, similarly sa anak namin. In fact, isi-share ko to kasi, my daughter kasi is a, well, used to be, or part-time fashion model. So when she was first invited to do a fashion show in North EDSA, she asked for permission. Sabi ko, sino kasama mo? Sabi niya, I'll go there alone, Dad. Ha? So North EDSA, first time she's there, malayo. And I know the place. So I told her, no, kasi malayo, wala kang kasama. Sagot niya sa akin, iiyak siya. Pero Dad, di ba, you told me to follow my dreams? Sabi ko, okay, tama nga naman. Sabi ko naman sa kanya, to follow your dreams, di ba? So, but I had to explain to her, yung reason for me not saying yes. The reason was basically, I want to make sure she is safe. That's as a parent, that is the prime reason for you to make sure that your daughter is safe. Then, ginawa namin na paraan. So, her goal was to do the show. My goal was to make sure she's safe. Then she found a friend to accompany her. Then things went well. So sometimes you need also to dialogue with your kids. So it's important to show them sincerely why the reason for your decisions is the way you make these decisions. It's primarily out of love as well for your kids. Now, sometimes we may forget. We may tend to be focused on trabaho, ating day-to-day activities. Minsan, service natin sa community takes on a lot of toll on our everyday life. That sometimes we tend to forget about our kids. Alam niyo po ba na pag hindi na naramdaman ng anak natin yung ating presensya, sila po ay sumasama ang loob. There was once a time that we were so engrossed in their service in the community, they would always say, CFC na naman kayo. Yun, parating ganun yung naririnig namin sa kanila. But we had to balance it out, of course. Sometimes if you tend to focus on your goals, your individual goals, at hindi na nafe-feel ng anak mo yung presence mo, sometimes even your physical presence, there's a tendency that they will start to hurt inside. Hindi natin minsan nakikita yon, but it actually happens. So, a key 3 words that I would like to impart here is that when dealing with your kids, show affection. Show affirmation, give them affirmation, and you communicate to them on a regular basis. We have what we call this, once in a while, we have what we call this in our family. We do family meetings or we do one-to-ones. The one-to-ones is like a dialogue between me or my wife, or a dialogue between me and my daughter. So minsan kakape kami lang usap just to catch up. Or minsan nagde-drive kami, long trip, like kami ni Gabby minsan from Pasig to Paranaque, it takes about 1 hour to 2 hours. Minsan, depending on traffic, we talk about what's happening with her, I talk to her about what's happening with me. And when there's a big crisis in the family, we also share it with one another. So I had a major financial issue before, I shared it with them. And also, what's nice is because we're in community, we pray together about it as well. So, show affection, affirm your children. If they did something good, tell them it's good. Good job, tuloy nyo lang. And you communicate. Pag-usap kayo. Whether it's good news or bad news, talk about it. Yeah, at this point, I'd like again to invite you.
Kwento lang po ulit. Ako yung taga-kwento. Okay, yung sa affirmation, affection, and communication. Hindi, kukwento ko lang, share ko lang nung maliliit yung mga bata. Hindi ko ko alam kung siya yung nagpasimula. Yung kunyari nagda-drive kami papasok sa school, bigla na lang hihirito na, I love you mommy, I love you Cassie, I love you Gabi. Ganun siya. Eh di siya susunod na yung dalawa. I love you mommy, I love you daddy, I love you. Parang ganun hanggang sa naging routine na po namin yun. Every day, we greet each other. Parang naging mantra namin, I love you. So I'd say, I love you daddy, I love you Cassie, I love you Gabi. Tapos sila din ganun. And somehow I think it helps. Hindi na maliliit yung mga bata. Ako na nga po yung pinakamaliit sa amin. Pero, yun. Ano pa rin. We were able to affirm each other. Minsan, kasi nga dahil nga preschool ang hawak ko, yung feeling ko na, shucks, hindi ata ako marunong magpalaki ng teenagers. Hindi na nga sila they're adults. But, because na-instill, kahit paano we-instill in them, I think, yung basic affirmation na alam nila na mahal sila. Kahit na magkamali, kahit na... Actually, minsan feeling ko, like si Bunso, parang mas hard siya on herself na minsan nasi-stress siya before when she was younger na, kunyari, Mami, hindi ako... Gabi paano she was crying kasi sabi niya, she didn't make it to the top 10. Kasi dalawa pala sila, so 10 and a half siya. Pero gano'n, sobra siyang lang-upset. Sobra siyang lang kasi mami, she's not in the top 10 kasi there are 2. So there's 10.5 and 10.5 and 2 of them are sharing. Sabi ko kay Butch, sabi ko, masyado ba nating nape-pressure yung mga bata? Na hindi naman, I was telling them, we don't have to excel. Ang importante is that you learn. Kaya yun din yung nagagalit sila, ini sila, pag ako yung nagre-review, kasi nga siguro dahil teacher ako, pag ako nagre-review sa kanila, mas mahirap pa daw yung tanong ko kaysa dun sa actual question sa class. Sabi ko, but then I was telling them, kasi pag nagbigay ako ng tanong, talagang nagpa-follow up, parang comprehensive exam, yung gano'n, pinapaikot ko yung questions eh. Pero I was telling them, it's not because you have to perfect na hindi kailangan maka 100% ka. Kasi importante is, alam mo yung kung ano yung tinuro sa inyo. And then again, whatever I tell them, whether it's 10 over 10 or 5 over 10 or 1 out of 10, doesn't really matter. What's important is you tried your best, you did your best, and whatever happens, you know that we love you. Yeah, yun lang po.
Okay, families cannot help but be places of support, guidance, and direction. However, much they may have to rethink their methods and discover new resources. Now, you heard the word millennials, di ba? Very common. My children is actually part of the millennial group now. A few days ago, I was talking with another couple. Pinag-usapan mo namin, how do you deal with millennials? Kasi millennials ngayon iba. Even in the office, millennials iba. They prefer to understand. Unlike po, like 20, 30 years ago, pag sinabi ng boss mo, gawin mo yan, sunod ka lang. Kumbaga, pag sinabi sa'yo, jump, ang sagot mo how high. Dive, how deep. Ganun dati yung mindset ng but millennials nowadays are a bit different. Pag kinausap niyo po sila, dapat very clear exactly what you want them to do. Because if it's not clear, they'll just assume that kung ito yung tindihan nila, yan ang gagawin nila. And it ends up being a frustration to both of you. So, they also need to be, hindi naman pampered, but they're very sensitive to please. Sensitive to, pag nag-utos ka, sabi mo, paki naman please. Bigyan din sila ng konting galang or bigyan ng galang kasi critical yon. You do not assume, kasi unlike before, pag anak kita, gawin mong sinasabi ng tatay mo kasi yun, tatay mo siya. Pero ngayon, iba na. Unlike before, you have to explain why you're doing this. It's how millennials are. But doesn't mean that you have to say, you have to submit to them in terms of, you surrender. O sige anak, ikaw hari dito dahil mahal kita, hindi ganon. You still have to make sure that you have to still instill some discipline or a degree of discipline with them. At the same time, balance it off with an explanation on why we're supposed to do something. So ganun po. Actually, yung section na to medyo isang talk po to. Ganun na po siya, if ever. So, in terms of parental, tawagin natin parental management. Nag-i-evolve na po siya. Yung handling before, there are things that we can pick up from the past, we can apply now, but there are things that are happening now that we need to be aware of as well. And the millennials is a group, I don't know what will be the next of the millennials, if ever, how do we deal with that? So it's ongoing, work in progress, learning, but then again, mas ano to, different sila ngayon. You need to really be transparent, you need to identify what they want, what you want, and you have to talk it out. Now, so make time for the task of building a strong family. So how do you do this? How do you take time to build a strong family? So, nung bata yung mga kids, we have this what we call, and nagtutubusok sa bahay ng kalokohan. Actually, tawag ko dito, trip to nowhere. Ang trip to nowhere po, sasabihin ko lang sa kanila is, okay, trip to nowhere tayo ngayon. Saan tayo pupunta na? Basta, sakay na lang kayo sa kotse, biyahe tayo. So yung first trip to nowhere namin, sabay sila, sakay sila sa kotse. Hindi nila ako saan kami pupunta. Dinala ko sila sa Subic. Nag-overnight kami nag-swimming. Wala silang dalang damit. So, yun ang first trip to nowhere namin. Yung next na trip to nowhere namin, sabi ko, tara, trip to nowhere tayo. Ayan na. Dala na sa mga bag. Dala na dala. Ready na kami. Nood kami ng sine. So, yun. So, this small activities actually also help strengthen the relationship. Kasi you bond, nagtatawanan kayo, it becomes part of the experience that you grow as a family. And then, another thing is, you pray together as well as a family. So, something that I learned from my parents, something that Mites learned from her parents, dinadala na namin. So, we do pray together. Makikita mo gaano kalalim magdasal yung pamilya na to, kami, lalo na kung mag-crisis. So, we had some crisis before and we had a very long December 26 prayer, and then that prayer was answered 3 days after. Yun. So, that was one of the things. That's why sa family namin, prayer is very, very important sa amin. Then, as much as possible, you celebrate Mass together. Iba pa rin kasi, the highest form of prayer is really the Mass, the Eucharist. Pray the Rosary as a family. We used to do that a lot when they were kids kasi hinatid ko sila sa school. So, pagpunta sa school, we pray the Rosary. Although hindi nila natatapos yung Rosary, nakatutulog na sila, pero okay lang, tinutuloy pa rin namin yung Miles. But we instilled that activity in their minds na as young as they were able to integrate it in their lives. And then, pray over your children. Pag natutulog sila, may ginagawa po yung asawa ko. Every night, when they were young, si Mites would go to their room and then just put a cross on their forehead and just say a little prayer. Yun. Just to assure that they will be able to sleep well at night. And then pag may sakit po sila, we also pray for them. We pray for each other when may sakit yung isa. And then pag may problema, again, as mentioned earlier, we talk. Kung may problema, pinag-usapan ko namin yan. May problema, let's say si Cassie, si Gabby, ako, o si Mike, whether it's big or small, pinag-usapan ko namin. And then, on our individual basis, pinag-dadasal ko namin ang isa-isa. Ganun po yung aming dynamic sa aming bahay. Of course, tama. Because nga nasa community din kami, we also pray for other people. May mga kapatid kami, may mga problema with their families, their relationships, we do pray over them. Kasama ko sa aming